On the show this weekend, we get you the victory of Silverina in the Kolkata Oaks Grade 3, Vijay's Pride winning the Indian 1000 Guineas,
My dream to win a big race in Bombay.
Machiavellism winning the Indian 2000 Guineas, Tipping Tim with all his tips, racing expert Mohit Lalwani with his expert tips.
For me, Machiavellianism cannot be counted out of the Indian Derby.
A rather bright and sunny morning with a slight bit of a nip in the air. We're standing right here at the Royal Western India Turf Club Limited. You're watching the Winning Post powered by Akash Global Advertising in association with the Serum Institute of India. I'm Chaiti Narula. We're taking a roundup of all the classics. First up, we start off with the Kolkata Oaks 2012 and move on to the Indian 1000 and 2000 Guineas, the first two classics of the Mumbai horse racing season. We get you a roundup and catch up with the winning connections. The month of December saw a lot of classic activity. The Kolkata Oaks and then the Indian 1000 Guineas, where the fillies battled their way into the prestigious parade ring, while the boys battled their way into supremacy with the running of the Indian 2000 Guineas. The Kolkata Oaks 2012 was the terms race for 3-year-olds only. The field consisted of 4 contenders: Angel Child and Ko Samui from Pacey Shroff's yard, Silverina trained by Bharat Singh and Chase the Sun from Padmanabhan's yard, featured in race number 7 on the day's race card, run over 2,400 meters.
They're off and racing for the Kolkata Oaks 2012. Little slowly out there's Chase the Sun. With about 250 meters more to run there, Silverina is safe and clear. 2.5-3 lengths in front of Chase the Sun, who's getting nowhere close. And then there is Ko Samui and Angel Child. But going for the line here for the Kolkata Oaks 2012, Silverina all the way. 3.5-4 lengths clear of Chase the Sun, finishing up second.
Trained by Bharat Singh and partnered by jockey Suraj Naredu, horse number 4 Silverina, carrying a weight of 55.5 kilos, ran past the wire to win the Kolkata Indian Oaks 2012. Silverina is sired by China Visit out of Silver Print and owned by Jaideep Datta Gupta. In comparison to how she looked in the Kolkata Guineas, she looked superior in form on the day of the Oaks. With Suraj Naredu in the saddle, she backed the Kolkata Oaks in breathtaking style after brushing aside the outstation challengers Chase the Sun and Ko Samui and Angel Child. Angel Child, partnered by Trevor, refused to gallop after the 2,200 meter marker. Chase the Sun was the one that finished 5 lengths behind the winner, Silverina, in the second position. Ko Samui ran third, followed by Angel Child. Then came the running of the Indian 1000 Guineas, a lead up to the Indian Oaks on Jan 20th, 2013. The Gitanjali Indian 1000 Guineas saw a field of 10 contenders. This was a terms race for 3-year-old fillies run over a mile or 1600 meters. Maple Star, Portia, Neona and Vijay's Pride were touted to be top contenders based on their Thursday morning track work. Vijay's Pride, sired by Bertoloni out of Designer Chick, well partnered by jockey P.S. Chauhan, showed a splendid turn of foot as she ran past the wire to win the Gitanjali Indian 1000 Guineas 2012 by the shortest possible margin. Showing off finished second, followed by Pacey Shroff trained Portia. Vijay's Pride clocked an impressive timing of 1 minute 35.78 seconds. Vijay's Pride's connections were prepared to win this one.
My boss had told me that don't worry about the thing, the pace will be fast and you just have to sit, don't panic, don't do anything, just sit, come to the straight and then make your move. Wait for the last minute and then make it.
Will you believe it? I was having full confidence that my filly will definitely win today, and it has done the same thing today. Please believe it. I was 100% sure all the way I have come from Hyderabad for this filly only. That much I can tell you. We told our jockey when we are in paddock that please make the filly come little late from outside, and it has done the same from the back, and it has done the same thing. And really I am telling you, whatever we have planned, it has done accordingly.
While Vijay Gupta was this confident, her trainer LVR Deshmukh had a rather emotional moment with her victory.
Actually, it didn't go out the way I wanted it. I basically wanted him to sit a little bit off the pace, but on the rails. But he got a little interfered on the rails and he had to go drop out, and then he pulled out the horse. The whole field started moving out. So he had no choice to but make his run from the outside.
Her pedigree suggests that she would relish the extra furlongs of the Indian Oaks.
I would also like to think, since there's a lot of stamina on the dam side, she would get the Oaks strip here, because it also remains to be seen as to how many fillies really stay a mile and a half. So unless there's something spectacular which really stays on well, I think she should be fair for the Oaks.
But going by her pedigree, do you think a mile and a half would suit her in the Indian Oaks as well?
I would like to think it should.
Vijay's Pride won convincingly. Her next classic would be the Indian Oaks 2013.
Well, the 1,000 Guineas was it was an exceptional race. I thought a couple of hard luck stories, a couple of great stories too. Let's start with the good stories first. Vijay's Pride, what a top class filly. I didn't think she looked well in the parade ring at all. She looked very dry. Her coat wasn't right, very patchy from behind. Really not much to look at as a filly. But the one thing I noticed when I saw her in the paddock was how strong she was in the shoulders. And for me, she really stood out, the way she looked in the shoulders, her chest. She really is a very strong filly. And I think she always looked like she was going to win when they turned for home and she balanced herself out. For me, it was a great victory because I actually had some money on her at 7-1 way before the race was even run. Vijay's Pride, will she get the Oak strip? My answer to that is possibly no. She's a daughter of Bertoloni. They don't normally stay, but one never knows. There isn't really much in the fillies this year that looks like it has the class and stamina to win the Indian Oaks, so you can't count her out. The horse that ran her a short-edged second will have Jamie Spencer on, clearly a slightly better option than Paul Trevor. And a short-edged second, she really rallied back. Now, she shocked me because she doesn't have the pedigree of a miler. She's got the pedigree of a 6-furlong filly. So she has absolutely taken me by surprise. She shouldn't have stayed the mile. Based on that, I'm going to say she's not going to stay the mile and a half of the Indian Oaks. The third horse home, Portia. If you just take a look at how Portia finished on, she came from way behind, as did Vijay's Pride, but I thought she was unlucky. I have it reliably that she felt her leg straight and possibly she wasn't at her best. Now, the feeling that I got from Portia is, even though she's also a daughter of Bertoloni, is that she looks like she was asking for slightly longer, perhaps a mile and a quarter, even maybe the Oak strip of a mile and a half. And if she works well and her joints are fine, perhaps she's the filly for the Oaks. The fourth horse home, who I believe was the most unlucky horse in the Indian 1,000 Guineas, without question, was Neona. She's a front-running filly, but I don't think she was given the best ride home. I thought it was a little presumptuous to take over the running as early as she did. Even before they turned for home, we saw the great Satellite lose the Indian Derby doing something like that. And the Mumbai straight is long. It's very hard for a horse to sustain a run from the top of the straight all the way to the finish line, leave alone even before you've turned for home. So would she have stayed? Would she have won? It's obviously debatable because she didn't. The fact of the matter is, I think she deserves another chance. The way she's traveled up to the last 250 meters or so, I actually thought she was going to win. So, for me, I think Neona was the hard luck story. I think she's certainly better than her fourth place result. She wasn't too far away. And I personally believe that this result would have been reversed with Neona just being asked to wait and check a bit. If you look at the way the horses have finished, the first, second and third horse have all come from off the pace, sitting second last, third last and last. And Neona was sitting out in front, who's finished fourth. So clearly from the horses that went out on the pace and got tired, Neona was the class. The class that's won the race has come from behind.
The year ended with the Indian 2000 Guineas, and the team that won the Indian 1000 Guineas seemed to be the winning mantra for the Guineas of the Mumbai racing season. They took home the coveted 2000 Guineas trophy too. Machiavellianism, partnered by P.S. Chauhan, trained by Deshmukh and owned by Vijay Gupta, provided a rare double victory for his connections who had won the Gitanjali Indian 1000 Guineas. The horses tipped to be in the fray with better chances to win the Indian 2000 Guineas happened to be Montezuma, Commander and Shivalik Hero. Shivalik Hero galloped well while Commander was not finding his best. This Hyderabad challenger, Machiavellianism, who is Vijay's pride as well with all puns intended, produced a splendid turn of foot and won the Nakshatra Indian 2000 Guineas. He picked up a momentum at full throttle in the last furlong. Chauhan and Deshmukh had a deja vu after the 2000 Guineas victory. Shivalik Hero ended 3 1/4 lengths away. An Acquired Taste finished third.
Well, now with regards to the 2000 Guineas, what a performance this was. Machiavellianism just blew this opposition away. Admittedly, he's possibly best over a mile. He didn't get the Derby trip, though that was in soft going, and Vittal Deshmukh has clearly said his horse prefers, he prefers a surface that's good to firm, and the Mumbai track provided that to him. A lot of his opposition, the good opposition, Franklin, Montezuma, many of these horses need a mile and a half, and possibly we haven't yet seen the best of them. Leave alone the fact that they were possibly inexperienced. Machiavellianism is a son of Jazeel, who won the Belmont Stakes on dirt in America over a mile and a half. That's the longest classic in the United States of America, and he won that. So for me, Machiavellianism cannot be counted out of the Indian Derby. I'd have to say at this point in time, the way he's won the Indian 2000 Guineas, he is the frontline contender. Now let's talk about the second, third and fourth horse home. Shivalik Hero, again a horse who was a short-head second in the Nanoli Stud Pune Derby over 10 furlongs. He's run second, a long way behind. He's also going to prefer it longer over the Derby trip. As will An Acquired Taste, I feel, who's finished on late to run third. A good performance. He still didn't look the part, and I think he'll get better by the time the Derby comes around. A horse that we cannot count out, who's not finished on board, is Besan Chinoy's horse Commander, who I believe will relish the mile and a half. He's a very good horse, and if one's looking for a bit of a horse at the price in the Indian Derby or even in the Ruya, which is possibly where a lot of these horses will run next and clash again, it's Commander.
The racing world now gears up for the Indian Oaks, the Ruya Cup and the McDowell Signature Premier Indian Derby 2013. Well, rather crucial turn in the career of trainer LVR Deshmukh. More on him on the other side of this break. Take a quick break right here on The Winning Post. Welcome back to The Winning Post, powered by Akash Global Advertising in association with the Serum Institute of India. I am Chaiti Narula. Now, trainer LVR Deshmukh is the man of the moment. He won the Indian 1000 Guineas with his filly Vijay's Pride and won the Indian 2000 Guineas with Machiavellianism as well. He's now geared up for the Oaks and the Indian Derby. We get you a complete story on this trainer on this weekend's Get to Know Your Racing Professional. We caught up with trainer LVR Deshmukh after Vijay's Pride won the Indian 1000 Guineas.
The first classic of the season was, of course, the Indian 1000 Guineas, sponsored by Gitanjali. And this filly, very, very special filly from Hyderabad, came in and won it. Vijay's Pride is her name, and the trainer of this magnificent filly is Mr. Deshmukh, who's here with me.
I've been coming last 10 years to win a big race like this. It's my dream to win a big race in Bombay. And I've come and won. The next target should be my Indian Derby.
Absolutely. But tell me, you said, you've been waiting for 10 years to come and win a big race. What do you think went right this time?
Well, I had the right horses this year. From day one, from Bangalore summer, I've been striking. I think we have bought some nice horses. My owner, Pratap Chandra Reddy, late owner, he was the one who used to buy me all the good horses. He supported me. Without him, I wouldn't have been here at this stage.
So do you dedicate this win then to Mr. Reddy?
I dedicated all my classic winners this year to him. Before he died, one day before, he told me, "You'll rule Indian classics this year." And he was right. I hope he's listening to me what I'm saying.
As far as Vijay's Pride is concerned, she is truly a special filly. She's dominated the regional scene. Today she's come in and she's made her mark, defeating horses that are from Mumbai as well.
She was always a good filly, but only problem with her is she's a dry-coated filly. She doesn't sweat. So I've been very careful the way I was programming her to run. And the Indian 1000 Guineas was always in my mind from last 1 year with this filly. And she's come and done it. And I hope she runs a good race in the Oaks for me next.
Finally, you won your first big race in Mumbai. How special is this for you? You said it's a dream come true. You know, how are you going to celebrate? What are you going through right now?
Well, I had so many bad luck stories in my career, running 10 derby second, shorted second. So basically it's gone out of me whether to enjoy these kind of races. For me, the day I win the Indian Derby or any derby anywhere, I think I'll celebrate it. I think I'll get drunk that day.
Okay, as far as Mumbai is concerned, also it's very special for you. From what I understand, you were very, very close to Vinayak.
He was like my elder brother. He used to always guide me in training horses, and I always used to follow his pattern of training. Until now, I still follow his pattern, and I think I won't get a friend like him again. Well, I kept running second in the invitation here, everywhere. He gave me a tie to wear it. He said, when you have a derby, wear it. So I kept the tie. When I come to Mumbai and have a runner in the Indian Derby, I'm going to wear that tie in his memory.
That is so sweet. But speaking of ties, you're not wearing one today. I heard you telling Malesh earlier that in Hyderabad you would have been thrown out.
They're very strict. They're very strict with the owners, trainers. Ours we call Lakir ka Fakirs. They're very strict, but in a way they're very strict in a lot of things with the trainers. And it's like a systematic school. I'm very proud of being a trainer there because the whole system, the stake money wise and the board, the officials, I think they're very helpful. And I think any center having that kind of a strict thing, I think it goes a long way.
Tell me a little bit more about Mr. Deshmukh as a trainer. How do you run your stable? How are you very disciplined? Tell me a little bit about that.
For me, stable management is number one, training is secondary. Horses are happy, they'll do well. Luckily, I've been having good lot of horses last 2 years, and I hope it continues.
Did you always know you wanted to be a trainer, you wanted to work with horses? How did this come about?
I used to ride earlier for the NCC, show jumping and dressage. Then from there I went, my dad said, don't waste your time in India. He sent me to Warwickshire College of Agriculture where I did 1 year course of management of horses. From there I didn't like England, so I went down to Ireland. I worked with the Moidler Stud Farm, and there Mr. Hoffner, he asked me to join the National Stud, Irish National Stud. I worked there as a student, and then I worked 1 year as a yard foreman there. Amita was in that year, she was a student under me. Then from there I joined John Ox. I was with him for 3.5 years. And after that I came to India and joined Mr. Bairamji. And I think I learned a lot from Mr. Bairamji for 3 years. It was my best time in my career. And in fact, even he had the best horses in his career. He had won 21 Indian classics that year. And I think he won all the Indian classics that year. And he ran 1, 2, 3 in the Indian Derby.
You speak of your exposure overseas. You went to England, you went to Ireland. Maybe that's where this love for Gotterbrods comes from?
It's nothing to do see, Indian stallions are good, big farms. We can't go to the big farms and buy. We don't have that kind of owners. So basically I go to smaller farms where I can buy Gotterbrods. When you know your pedigrees well, I think you can pick right horses. I'm a firm believer in pedigrees. Firm believer means like I run through all the stallion statistics, mare statistics, and nicks. And I spend nearly 1 hour in pedigrees.
Do you have children? Do they also like this world, and do they also have dreams of perhaps entering it?
My elder son is 9 years. He is not interested. My younger fellow is 3.5. He is the one when I go home, he'll ask me if the horse is eaten, he's urinated, he's sleeping. He's more interested. I think he can recognize horses with seeing photographs.
What about your wife? How supportive has she been through all this?
I have to give full credit to her. She supports me because most of the time we spend time in the stables. She's running a school of her own, so she's also a little busy in her own work. But she's been very supporting whatever I do because we're traveling all the time. She helps me out, and I'm very grateful to have a wife like that.
Absolutely correct answer. She'll be very happy to hear this on TV. No, but jokes apart. Okay, coming back to the filly, to Vijay's Pride. Now, what kind of a campaign are you planning for her?
She runs the Oaks for definite. And this filly, we never did any long-term program. We just go race by race. Because she loses a lot of weight after a race. She nearly loses 20 to 25 kilos after a race. So I have to be very careful. I can't run a quick racing. So 100% she's going to run the Oaks. And then I'll take on after the Oaks whether she's good enough for the Derby. Otherwise, she's going to go back to Hyderabad after the Oaks.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Very, very well done. And as you just said, Vijay's Pride has performed brilliantly today. She's going to stay here for the Oaks. All the power to her. We hope to see you in Mumbai very often and hopefully with lots of winners.
I'm here. I'm coming with a 2-year-old also for the Breeders' Produce and the Punawala Million. Let's see, they all do well.
Well, that was the story on trainer LVR Deshmukh. Rather a very defining moment for him right there. Take a quick break right here on The Winning Post. When we return, we take a look at Sunday's race card and the top contenders. Welcome back to The Winning Post, powered by Akash Global Advertising in association with the Serum Institute of India. Well, it's that time of the show when we take a look at Thursday morning track work and analyze the form of all the top contenders. With the peak of the Western India racing season upon us, the best of the West were on the track at Mahalakshmi. The inner sand track was the preferred surface for many of the gallops, and the Ruya and the Derby contender. Maximus, with Daniel Grant on, was easily a long way ahead of Vittoria, who was eased off at the end of the gallop over a mile. The midday trophy is for juveniles this weekend, and Bombardier and Falcon from Malaysia Radio Stable come home together easily. Whichever runs on Sunday will go close. Also over the 1,200 meter strip, 2,000 Guineas winner and the anti-post Derby favourite Machiavellianism clocked a minute and 7 seconds and seemed to be well. Not long after, Rio, a 3-year-old, and Enlightenment, who runs the Velvet Rope Trophy on Sunday, worked well with the younger horse just stretching out in the last 30 yards. With high-quality racing this weekend, some of the 800-meter spurts captured included a number of juveniles including Andraste, Silver Arrow from Pacey Shroff's stable, Jerome, who worked with Attila, and Cyclops, who went with K. Serra Serra. The older horses that spurted included Maddox, Yuval, Rajasthan Royals, and Ranthambore, who looked particularly impressive not too long before the sun came higher up at the end of the track work session.
Well, now looking ahead to the weekend's racing, you've got the Bangalore Oaks. It's an extremely open race this weekend. Jersey Girl is the horse that I'm going to go with. She's done nothing wrong. She's got the best form, the highest rated horse in the field. And for me, she's done absolutely nothing wrong. She's my pick for the Bangalore Oaks. As far as the racing in Mumbai goes this weekend, you've got a couple of big races. You've got the West Viroa Million, and in the Viroa Million, I think standout horse might just be Black Magic Woman. She's won very well last time out. 1400 meters is something she clearly enjoys. You've got Rajasthan Royals, who's in back in the form of his life. A number of other horses. Amadeus is right up there. I thought Richard gave him a fairly gentle ride when over on 1,000 Guineas Day, and I think Amadeus is going to run a big race. Amadeus, Black Magic Woman, an interesting matchup there. Ambrosia for me is the day's best. I mean, she's taking part in the 10 furlong Velvet Rope Trophy, and I think she's going to. It's going to be hard for anything to beat her. Well, the midday trophy this weekend is for 3-year-olds and a couple of nice horses from some fairly strong stables. Malaysian Radio has 2, Bombardier and Jerome. Both have been working very well. Bombardier particularly well, spurted very nicely on Thursday. Manyar Jadhav has a nice juvenile. by Holy Roman Emperor. Pacey Shroff has silver, Arrow, another horse that's been working extremely well. It's a very open race. It's a little too early right now for me to really put a line through some and say this doesn't have a chance or this one's outstanding. But it's an open race, and closer to the time we will have our Winning Post juvenile ratings up on the Winning Post YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/winningpostracing. So we'll have a thorough analysis of the juveniles closer to race time on Sunday morning.
Well, that's all that we have for you on the Winning Post, powered by Akash Global Advertising in association with the Serum Institute of India. We will continue getting all the racing updates for you from all over the world as usual. Follow our expert Mohit Lalwani on Twitter. Have a good racing weekend. I will see you next week. Until then, may the horse be with you.